I wanted to do an up kind of album, and the song Physical I loved, but wasn't really sure if I was going to record it in the beginning. I was very ambiguous about whether I should or shouldn't do it, and then it kept coming back to me and haunting me, and I thought, I have to do this song. It's really a great song.
There's nothing left to talk about, let's horizontally, let's get physical.
And it just kind of happened that way. There was no preconceived, I think people imagine these moguls sitting around and putting together images, but it really just kind of happened.
A place where nobody dared to go, the love that we came to know, they call it Xanadu.
I mean, I don't think, personally, I came out of Xanadu too badly. I think the film lacked a story, basically, a script.
Now that I'm here, now that you're near, in Xanadu.
But the music did very well, and that was really the side that I was the most concerned about in the long run, because if the music had failed, that would have been devastating to me. But the album did so well that it kind of made up for it, as far as I was concerned. In the beginning, I think I used to get terribly affected by criticism, because then you're very insecure anyway. But now, I suppose I've reached a level in my career where it's not going to make or break me, so it's not as devastating as it was then. Well, Grease got terrible reviews, and it was one of the biggest films ever made.
Oh my gosh, she is the biggest icon that Australia's ever had, other than the kangaroo. she's it. If you mention her name, I mean, Olivia Newton-John, she's everything.
There's so much more interest lately in your home country of Australia.
It seems to be all of a sudden, but it's been growing over the last few years, and it's going to stay that way, I think. We've got a lot of talent out there. I've just been waiting for you all to realise it.
Olivia.
There's a lot of similarities between Australia and America, but I think Australia is kind of like America probably was before the population growth is as it is now. In Australia, I can honestly say, without sounding big time, that I cannot go anywhere without people saying hello or how's Chloe. I'm their family. I'm part of the family because I've been kind of in every newspaper, and the population is so small they can't help but see me. So there they expect the girl next door, I guess. And everywhere I go, people treat me like one of the family, which is wonderful.
You're a comedian, huh?
No, a mannequin. Well, really, she's a mannequin that's brought to life. I think the thing that she doesn't know about is our feelings, and that is something that she comes to learn about when she joins the family. I guess I don't know.
Hopelessly devoted to you.
I was a little nervous about if I could pull it off, so I said, I'd like to do a screen test, please, and see if I like it, because I want to know if I can do it. So I did a screen test with John, and it really worked, and we had great chemistry, and I felt very comfortable.
Sandy?
Tell me about it, Stir. I think that the last scene, when we were filming that, it was such a change for me, because I'd been 2 months as Sandy 1, as I call her, and then I got to change and be Sandy 2. And I spent time in the trailer with the makeup and the hair and the wardrobe, and we're trying different looks and different, what went with what and what earrings and all that stuff. So I went out on the set, and nobody knew who I was, and I was getting all these looks and whistles, and I was thinking, what have I been doing wrong all these months? And it was really very fun. It was really fun that I could pull it off, and it was great.
And the doctors were checking me, and I had lumps, but none of them were anything to worry about, and I had mammograms. But this time it didn't feel quite right, and I didn't feel well within myself, and I had kind of a knowing that I didn't feel quite right. And I always say to women, trust that instinct, because that instinct in women is very powerful. I had a mammogram and it was negative, but I went to see my surgeon, and he did a needle biopsy, which was also negative. And I still didn't feel right, and he said to me, I think I'd like to do a surgical biopsy, and that's when they found it, because it was hidden right away. So my instinct and his wanting to really check it out were very fortunate for me. I'm a pretty positive person generally, although breast cancer is a scary thing to go through. But I made a decision pretty early on that I was not going to give into it, and that I was going to be okay, and you need to decide you're going to be okay. And I felt that in my deepest core and in my soul, I knew that I would get through it. But it's still a very scary thing, and you don't really know. You just have to go through it. That's the only way you learn.
How do you spend a perfect day?
Perfect day. I had one today, really. I got up early, fed my dog and cat, had a cup of tea, brought one to my husband, had a really nice morning. I mean, today was a busy day, but just to be at home with my animals, my husband, maybe have Chloe there visiting, just hanging out.
Sometimes hearts can grow as cold as stone.
This is something that you recorded during the pandemic, correct?
It is. It was a really interesting thing that happened because I had not planned on recording again.
Maybe we can see the other side. We find we're not so different after all.
The first person I thought of was Chloe to sing it with me because it was such a personal song. And luckily she agreed because it's not really her genre of music, but it was a very special thing to do it with her.
I was honored that, you know, out of all the people my mom could have asked, she asked me, so that meant the world to me.
Looking for a window in the wall.
In this particular time in the world, I think was the perfect message to have compassion for each other and friendship for each other. This is a very unusual time on the planet, and we are all so connected, and we need to value that connectedness, not our divisiveness, and just to share in the love, because we're all here at this time together on the planet, and we are all one.
Of all your songs, do you have a favorite?
People ask me that, and I like a lot of them, you know, because obviously, I mean, I have to really love them to sing them in the first place. But if you really had to pin me down to one of them, I'd say that I Honestly Love You was one.
When you were a little girl in Australia growing up, did you always want to be a singer? Did you know that Hollywood was the place where you would end up one day?
No, never. I'd never any idea. I wanted to be a vet, actually, and because I was animal crazy. Still am, haven't changed much, but wasn't very good at science at school or maths, so I kind of passed on that one. And singing just kind of happened for me. I used to do it for fun, and somebody heard me singing in a coffee lounge. I used to sing with a folk singer in there on the weekends, and I went into a talent contest and won it, and it kind of, you know, spiraled from there and went on.